Hey guys, figured I would do a update on the Swallowtail Angel. I didn't mention what I did after the last video of recognizing it was covered in velvet. Now it's ebbed and flowed a little bit the last couple days, but what ended up happening is I did a freshwater dip, about a 5-minute freshwater dip immediately after that video I think that I shot, so I knew I had to act quickly. I already had Rally in the water, which is supposedly supposed to provide temporary relief of velvet and, you know, treat some flagellated parasites and things like that. But this fish is struggling. It's been a little reclusive. You know, yesterday it was okay for a minute. It's ebbs and flows. But so I did a freshwater dip, put it back in, had it in the Rally, ran it in Rally for a couple hours, put in a bag of carbon and polyfilter overnight, pulled the majority of what I could see of the Rally out of the water, and then dosed 80 milligrams of CP, chloroquine phosphate, the next morning. Now, I have noticed some adverse effects from the higher dose. Usually when you have a fish covered this badly in velvet, you want to dose with that higher dose when there's visible signs occurring. And just based on the tank itself and everything else, it ended up getting a little more cloudy than usual. You probably can't tell from the video, but there's just a haze. And it could have been that there was some Rally left in the water it didn't react well with. I was running an air stone for over 24 hours. I just shut it off before this video. I'm trying to calm the tank down a little bit. But anyway, moral of the story, what I'm going to do is I have carbon and poly back in here again. And I'm mixing up some salt water, because what I'm going to do is try to pull out as much of the CP that I dosed, I guess yesterday, right, out of the water. Try to pull a good bit of it out, do a 50% water change, let everything settle out for a minute, and then probably redose CP at 40 milligrams as opposed to 80, or maybe even go up to 60, depending on, you know, just gauging what I think that the carbon and poly pulled out of the water. But you know, the unfortunate thing is there's not a lot you can do for this fish in terms of the parasites that are on the fish. You can freshwater dip it again, which I may do, just to try to provide some gill relief for it. But there's nothing you can do until those trophons fall off the fish, and then you can kill the free swimmers with the CP in the water. But the other thing I noticed, if you can see that spot, there's a distinct couple of spots on the eyeballs. I really wouldn't be surprised at this point if this fish has flukes as well. I did freshwater dip it once. I noticed some floaties in the water. They weren't the big, you know, sesame seed type flukes you usually see, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's multiple things going on with this fish. And it's just unfortunate, because it really is such a pretty fish, and I didn't expect this thing to just break out in this crazy bout of velvet when I got it home after 2-3 hours in a quarantine tank. So that's the update. I'm gonna do this in the next few hours. There's gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna continue to run the carbon and poly, try to strip out the, you know, a good bit of the chloroquine, do a water change, 50%, let everything settle out probably overnight, still running carbon and poly, and then redose tomorrow morning at a lighter dose of CP. And again, like I mentioned, I might freshwater dip this fish just to see if I can provide it some relief, because it really is covered. And if it looks this bad on the body, I can only imagine what the gills are looking like, and you can tell that from the gilling. See how heavy this fish is breathing. So it's a bummer. One more thing I'll point out, challenges of quarantine when you do, you know, make the decision to have a quarantine tank, is ammonia. Now I have a giant bag of ceramic media that was seating in my display tank for, oh, here's an interesting little tidbit. Yeah, this fish is just looking for gill relief. Every once in a while it'll freak out and swim around, and you can tell its gills are really irritated, and it's struggling, it's trying. And I'm going to try to do everything I can for it, but it just sucks when this happens, man. It's like it starts going at the fish hard and really fast, so you got to act quickly. Anyway, ammonia. So medications like CP and acroflavine and Prazipro, they'll end up giving you negative ammonia results on test kits like an API, which is what I have here. And you can see that I'm showing green here. Let me shake it up a little bit. But it's weird because it's not like any shaded green on the card. It's like this off weird color green. A lot of times that's caused by the medications. If you see, my ammonia badge is still reading 0 ammonia. So I don't think I have ammonia in here because I have a lot of bacteria that's built up from my main tank on those the ceramic rings. But regardless, you kind of have to constantly keep up with water changes and maintain the quality of the water in a quarantine tank, because a lot of fish will die just from adverse water conditions. And think about the fact that if you have ammonia or anything else creeping up on you, and you're throwing these harsh, sometimes harsh, shouldn't be that harsh as far as treatments go, at them, you can't have two things going on like that are detrimental. So, but anyway, I'm gonna stop this video. I'll do another update. I'll just continue to do these. I've been filming them on my phone, uploading them to YouTube, deleting them off my phone just to track it for my own sake too. Anybody that wants to follow along, maybe gain something from this, I'd appreciate you rate, comment, subscribe, check back for an update. I'm going to do all the things I mentioned. Got to get the water up here, change out some water, probably do a freshwater dip. So Rising's Reef, thanks for checking in.